Greetings, everybody. How you doing? All right. Just checking, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Good stuff. All right. I'll just get everyone on mute, if that's all right.
Like this note, but it has to have some words near.
Catherine, I'll just get you on mute. There we go. Lovely. Good stuff. Alrighty, just spotlighting that. And bringing the rest of everybody into the group, into the room. And I'm just going to change a little something. Won't be long, team. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that should be sorted. All right, lovely. So what we are going to do tonight, I'm just going to, there's a lot of people coming in. Let me, just 1 second, guys, while I let people in. I've got to click on that. All right, cool. All right, let's do this. Welcome, guys. Tonight we are going to go over limiting beliefs. And these are going to be beliefs that are held in your unconscious mind. These beliefs are fiction. They're not, they seem like they're real, but they're not real. They're unreal. They're fantasy. And it's your greatest work. It's your greatest work to identify these limiting beliefs, uncover them, and to make them more into more empowering beliefs. I'm still trying to share my screen, so sorry about this. Here we go. Negative.
Shall we start off with some wins while you're sorting that out?
Yeah, let's do that. Thanks, Phil.
Awesome.
All right,
in
guys.
the chatty chat box.
Sorry, I'm all over the place with this. I'm trying to share my screen, but let's start off with some wins. I'd like to know how you're doing, what's been going well for you, how have things been in the spark department, in the more metaphysical, in the first cause of things, and also how are you going with the physical stuff as well? How's your symptoms? How's the work going for you? Let us know in the chat box. Tell us what's been happening. Fiona, spent a long weekend with family of origin, handled the conflict, feelings of being a child so much better than you have in the past. That's cool. Catherine, did some awesome breath work this week, which has made me feel so much calmer. That's cool. Awesome. So made you feel so much calmer. And I think tonight, Catherine, what we're going to hopefully uncover is, you felt uncalm. What's the opposite of calm? Is that how you were feeling prior to that breath work? And what was going on? What was upstairs or in your heart that led to the uncalm, the dis-ease, which prompted you to do the breath work. Like that's what we're going to get into tonight. So that'll be another double whammy approach. Not only do you have the win under the belt of the breath work, but tonight we'll untangle some of those beliefs as well. Sharon, not automatically blaming myself for everything. So good. Dove, I've not had a coffee for over 2 weeks. Ho-ho! Terry, very happy to go out for dinner with great foodie friends and not need to have an alcoholic drink. Super cool. Annalisa, last week's session helped me to work out some of my beliefs around work. What I thought that I wanted to do isn't actually what I want to do. It was held up in the belief of comfort and safety. Super. Kimberly, for the past 6 months, I've been stuck in a trauma cycle, which I worked on breaking with Philly at my last appointment. Well, it's that time of the month and I'm feeling peace and joy, no sadness or trauma. Wow. So that's awesome. Rihanna, I've also had no coffee for 4 days. Very hard thing to do as a Melburnian, so central to our social lives. So that's an interesting belief there, you know. I hope you can see that at the end of tonight's call and maybe even now. Which can cause strain, it can cause stress, it can cause social discomfort and tension and all that sort of stuff as a Melburnian. Mish, good week so far. Speaking to symptoms that have come up and managed to overcome them, feeling good. First week back at work after a month off with sickness and feeling okay, says Rach. Finding I'm falling into victim mode, but recognizing this, giving myself some grace and rewording some thoughts. Awesome. I love it. You guys rock. So many wins. So many. Fern, I've been able to do some work and feeling good while doing it. My partner is sick, but I'm not too bad. Just a tickly throat. So I'm being kind to myself, taking it easy. Not pushing myself. Eating things and drinking caffeine and feeling totally fine. Cool. Sleeping so well since doing my SIBO protocol. It's unbelievable and it's amazing. Awesome. Loving the metaphysical stuff. Anxiety is becoming less and less. Says Joe, really enjoy getting to know my inner child, finding it easier to tell myself a different story. Awesome. We're going to kind of like a running race, tag team, hand the baton over into the next leg of that. Joe, tonight, continue the race, continue running the game. Sharon, spent quality time with old school friends, sharing life and felt reconnected. Beautiful, Sharon. Kerry, I've had a huge day and felt a bit under pressure, but didn't lose it at all. The laundry flood damaged. Oh no, boo. Okay. But negotiated the insurance and they're going to replace the laundry and bathroom, no problems. So yay. From boo to yay. About to head to Bali. Double yay. Rihanna. Nope. Hang on. That jumped up. My screen. Cool. Awesome. All right. I love it. So good, guys. Keep those wins coming. Brilliant. Okay. So I think I can share my screen. Maybe can I share it? Let's go here. Oh, there's Chris and Philly, but it's not Philly. It's just Chris. Let's turn that off and let's turn that off. And there we go. All right, cool. So, chink, chink, chink. Oh, look at that. All right, so here we go. Bum, 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 bum. We're in past state tonight. We're going to go into hidden beliefs or limiting beliefs, things that are in the unconscious. They're not viewed. They're not easy to view. They're kind of there, but they're not there. It's hard to see. I think about Indiana Jones. You know Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, that very first scene, Indiana, he goes into the temple, and while he's in the temple, he finds that idol. But before he goes and he finds the idol, and we'll talk about this in a second, but he goes down some catacombs, he shines his torch, and he finds some hidden booby traps. Tonight, we're going to find these booby traps in your heart, in your soul, in your life, these hidden beliefs that are, they're protecting you somehow. You're the part of you is the idol. It's what you worship. You try and keep safe. You've got all these triggers that protect you. And so tonight we're going to go fossicking. We're going to put our Indiana Jones hats on and we're going to go looking for some stuff. Goal tonight is to identify the hidden beliefs stuck in your unconscious, tap into your hidden beliefs that affect your body, burnout. And this is an important one, that affect your ability to heal or move into growth with safety. Because there's a bunch of this stuff that you believe to be true and that you're holding in your unconscious, and it's affecting your ability to heal, and it's probably even causing your sickness in the first place. I really want to have some question time at the end, especially for those of you who are just doing the group stuff. I would really like to be able to hear your questions and just be here to give you the space that you need. But I'm wondering if you can give yourself permission to be here now. So with that being said, I would wonder if you would join me in just a couple of big, deep breaths. And each time you breathe in, just notice that you're here. Notice that you're on Zoom. Notice that you're hearing my voice. You can see other people's faces, my face, all that sort of stuff. I'm wondering if you could give yourself permission to just be here, whatever that looks like to you. And if that's okay, if you think you can give yourself permission to be here now, in the chat, just give us a thumbs up or a like a yes or a Y or something like that. Or if you can on Zoom, just like hold your thumb up and it does like a little that. Awesome. Great, guys. Love it. Awesome. So good. Yes, 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 yes. Screen's on if you can. It really helps. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Use the chat. Ask questions. Done that. All right, let's move on. These limiting beliefs, they probably cause your body burnout. How? I would love to hear in the chat, for those of you who've either done this work before or you've got some insights after listening to the Spark lessons, how the crikey do you think what you think about, especially the stuff that you don't even know that you're thinking about and that you believe to be true, how in the crikey Saurus Rex does that cause health issues and your body burnout? In the chat, let us know. Yeah, Phil, probably. They do. Full stop. Jay, because we are what we eat. That's a good one. If you've got a story or you've got an experience about how you've noticed beliefs, your beliefs as you've tinkered with them, changed them, played with them, brought them up, gone from the unconscious to the conscious, how have you seen this process work for you? Fern, because the beliefs lead to unhealthy behaviors. Yeah, it's kind of like it's algebra almost, isn't it? It's like beliefs equal unhealthy behaviors, or limiting beliefs equal unhealthy behaviors. Terry, I think I've suppressed myself for some time due to trying to make life easier, and it hasn't worked. Yeah. You've probably heard my story about the ball in the in the swimming pool. You can't hold a basketball underwater forever. It's going to fling out. It's going to hit you in the face. Well, it did for me anyway. And I think that's what happens with our things that we try and suppress. It comes up. And it usually, for me, the basketball came up and literally gave me a blood nose. And for us, our unconscious beliefs, when they come up as symptoms. And Philly just added for our listeners at home, and then the suppressed beliefs or emotions and trauma will show up in the body at some point. Yep. If I can do something, try something. No. Okay. Nicole makes us sick to keep us safe, stopping us from doing things that make us feel unsafe. Yeah. The body keeps score. Amen. Joe, I didn't listen to my instincts, lost my values, lost trust in myself. Yeah. That's a slippery slope, isn't it? Fiona, my subconscious was telling me I was unworthy. So my behaviors focus on other people's happiness, and that caused symptoms because underneath it all, I wasn't looking out for me. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, so there's these beliefs of inadequacy. So I'm not enough, which leads you down a path of prove, defend, do, give, martyrdom. And before long, not only has your health been given, your energy has been given, you're all depleted out. All right. Fern, this is a good one. I had a limiting belief no one likes me. So I worked really hard to people please. And whoever I thought or assumed the other person needed me to be. Oh, yeah. So whoever I thought or assumed the other person needed me to be, that's what you work so hard to be, right? So I lost myself. I didn't even know what I wanted out of life. So empty and unhappy and bent over backwards for other people. I didn't meet my own needs. It was created in childhood when I was like 5. So good. Thanks for sharing, guys. Mish, my beliefs caused me to beat myself up time and time again. I ended up with battered self syndrome. Oh, wow. It's so true, isn't it? And then as you play with those and as you change those and as you swap them around for more empowering beliefs about yourself, you can relate to everyone else for some degree. And as you feel better about yourself, well, there's no need to prove, there's no need to defend. And so then, therefore, you don't burn out. Cool. Philly said, in regards to Sharon and Mish relating to everybody, it's a good point. Everyone has this stuff hidden under the surface until you're able to bring it to the surface and reprogram it. Yeah. Makes healing harder. We all have a little threat detector. Has anyone currently or in the past had a smoke alarm that just goes beep, beep, or beep, beep? What's the beeps? It's been so long since I'm in a new house. So anyway, like that, it just goes off. And I think that's what happens with our limiting beliefs. We have this threat detector just going off all the time. And we try and defend, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they're like dictators, like Adolf Hitler, Stalin, dictators in the past or present that just take away your freedom of choice. They lock you into a way of thinking and being. That's what your limiting beliefs are. They dictate how you see the world, how you see yourself, and you know, what happens in places that are ruled by dictators or try to be ruled by dictators. There's always a rebellion. If not now, it will be. And that's what happens in our bodies. Body systems rebel. So this is a picture of mold. Phil, what was her name? She was on our podcast just a couple of weeks ago. Talked about mold.
Bronwyn Kidd.
Bronwyn. Yeah. So she talked about mold, and you can't wipe it away. You can, but it comes back. You got to remove the mold. Bev, how do I enlarge the screen presentation on Zoom? Phil, can you answer Bronwyn? Beverly, if you just pop that into the main chat instead of direct messaging me, and then Philly will be able to help you. Other people will be able to help you. Yeah, so Bronwyn talked about mold. If you don't get rid of it, it just keeps coming back. And if you don't change these limiting beliefs, if you can't try and suppress them or wipe them away or breathe your way out of them or exercise your way out of them or people please your way out of them, they're just going to keep coming back. This pattern will just continue over and over again. And you have this perfect ecosystem where your body systems are cooked because of your beliefs. They affect your health, prevents your ability to heal. Okay, here we go. Held in your unconscious. Your beliefs are held in your unconscious. Here's your unconscious mind's prime directives. I'm just going to, I don't know if you can all read that or if it's blurry. Is that blurry? Not too bad. Okay, cool. Storehouse and organizer for memories. It's the domain of emotions. It represses memories. Here's something else. It runs the body. It's got a blueprint of the body now and the perfect health, mind, emotional body. So the stomach lining is replaced every 5 days, according to this textbook. Skin every 30 days, the liver every 6 weeks, the entire skeletal every 3 months, apparently. Every year, 95% of atoms in your body are replaced. What? Gases, new gases are brought in every breath. You know what I mean? Like the heartbeats are regulated, blood pressure's regulated. All this stuff happens without us thinking about it. Preserves the body, maintains the integrity in the body. It's a servant to follow orders. It's I love this. It's constantly eavesdropping and responding to what you think, say, and how you strive to be a moral being. It controls and maintains all perceptions, receives and transmits perceptions to the conscious mind, generates, stores, distributes, transmits energy in body, mind, and spirit, maintains instincts, generates habits, It's unable to process negatives. It just skips them. Anyway, that's what the unconscious mind, that's its prime directives. That's what it wants to do. Stories. It's just a bunch of fiction. It's just a story. These beliefs are stories that you tell yourself and that you believe to be true. And just like fiction, do you remember those choose your own event? Who read choose your own adventure stories as a kid? Did anyone read those? And you had options. Yeah, Mish. So you could like choose a different plot. If I don't know if you're like me and I'd like take a sneak. I'm like, oh, page 64. Okay, page 6. No, I don't like that one. Page 37. Ah, yeah, that's better. And you know, we can totally do that with our beliefs. We can have better ones. If page 64 doesn't suit you, if you realize, geez, this is not getting me where I want to get to, well, we can go back. We can go choose something else. Unable to process negatives. I knew someone was going to ask me that, and I think the unconscious.
Do you want me to jump in? I was just typing to Dove. But it becomes more relevant when you get to desired state and nervous system regulation. So it's something you can hack into when you're starting to reprogram symptoms. An example would be, instead of like, I feel so anxious all the time, a word swap for that would be, my mind feels less calm. So you're still being honest with how you feel, but your unconscious mind and your brain kind of deletes the less, and it just attaches onto the descriptor, which is calm.
Thanks, Phil. And you got a thought, oh, geez, did I do that? Zoom's just recognizing that that's a thumb on the screen. That's so funny. Hang on, let me see if that does it again. Yes, that's hilarious. That's amazing. Oh, I could do this all day. Look at that. Oh, that's so funny. AI. Yeah. Is this an empowering use of my time? No. Let's do it. Next slide. These limiting beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you think, even if you're not aware that you're thinking it, I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You find ways to prove that you're not worthy. There's evidence everywhere. Everywhere. You know, you see it over and over and over again. Oh yeah, so Fern, I'll just read the first thing that you said and then read the next thing. I had a limiting belief no one likes me, so I worked really hard to people please and be whoever I thought or assumed the other person needed me to be. So I lost myself. I didn't even know what I wanted out of life. I was so empty and unhappy, bent over backwards for other people, and didn't meet my own needs. And then my other solution was to just be alone, not to be around people, because then I didn't feel the pressure. So I withdrew. Also, not a healthy option. My body felt that people around me were a threat because it knew that I'd put in their needs above mine. I also was giving people the power to hurt me. So, to protect myself from feeling hurt or rejection, I'd end the friendships or relationships as soon as I felt too into it. Or I'd do something purposefully to sabotage it and make them end the relationship. So it becomes a prophecy. Your fortune cookie is, you're not good enough. You will be single. You will not have friends. And then next minute, that's what happens, right? Mind filtered all the info to support your belief. Yeah. And we're going to go over this tonight, but there was plenty of data. There was plenty of data, plenty of evidence to be seen and observed and felt that could have meant something different, you know, like the opposite could have been true. It's that young Fern latched onto a particular belief which equaled a behavior compounded over years. I was about to say many years, but that would have made you sound like really old. So we'll just edit that bit out. And, you know, fast forward, proven to Fen. Philly says, beliefs in the machine that drives everything: thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors, habits, lifestyle, health of the body, relationships, finances, work, everything. Can you come off mute? Yes. I think.
I just want to share like where this came from in my childhood. So my parents had to travel away for a work thing, and my sister and I went to go and stay with one of my sister's friends' parents and their family. And I was really little. I was probably 5, maybe even 4. And I remember my sister wanted to sleep in her friend's room on the floor, which meant that I had to sleep in this other room by myself. And I didn't really like her friend. She wasn't very nice to me because I was like the little sister. She wasn't nice to her own little brother either. I was scared of the lady that we were staying with as well because she was also very like I don't know, all of my memories were, she wasn't very nice to me. Like I was always like a problem. And there I was, very young, staying in this house with them. Didn't feel safe. So I'm in a house that I don't feel safe in any way. Then my sister leaves me alone because she wants to stay in her friend's room, which, you know, if roles were reversed, I'd want to do the same thing. And I wanted to play with them. And my sister and her friend were like, no, we don't want to play with you. And yeah, after that, everything after that, I just took it to mean that people didn't like me, and it literally has affected everything. I just made everything mean that there was something wrong with me, that people didn't like me, didn't want to be my friend, played out through like my whole life up until now, up until becoming aware of it. So yeah.
Epic. Wow. How old were you again, Fern? Did you say 5?
Yeah, I think I was around 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So this next slide, like, it's normal to have these limiting beliefs. It's normal to have these fears or frustrations or I'm not enoughnesses. It's normal to have these things. They happen, but it's our greatest work to grow up and to become an adult and put aside these childish things, these childish perceptions, to grow up and be an adult in your relationships, especially your relationship with yourself, because these limiting beliefs, although they're normal and no one makes it out of childhood unscathed, we all got it. It's like kind of doing a speed run playing paintball. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna come out with some paintball on you. We all come out of childhood into adulthood as old people, but we're not adults. And we got to grow up if we want to end our body burnout. But here's a picture of, no, I'm not sharing my screen. Here we go. Here's a picture of the Gordon Dam. For those of you who aren't Tasmanians, I'm pretty sure this is the Gordon Dam. Oh, imagine if it's not. That would be embarrassing. I'm pretty sure this is in Tasmania. We build these damn beliefs. You like that? We build these damn beliefs that stop our progression. They hold us back, just like they hold back water. Not a true Tasmanian. Yeah, so I can be wrong. My limiting belief is that I'm not a true Tasmanian because I was born in Townsville, raised in Sydney, Brisbane. I don't know who I am. Energy flows where your attention goes. Wherever your attention is. Sometimes you don't even, like, it's possible for us to stare, right? We're looking at something without actually looking at it, without seeing it. So that's what happens. Our attention goes on where our unconscious mind tells us our attention to go, right? It's dictated by our unconscious. Spoken like a true Tasmanian. Yeah, exactly. So we have these damn beliefs that we install, that we build out of concrete, but it's all just fiction. We can break those damn beliefs down, but how? Well, I'm glad you asked, because tonight we're going to do that. All right. Please take this time to grab a pen and paper or a pencil. And just take a moment. I'm going to grab a drink, but we're going to build a list of limiting beliefs. And the invitation is for you to open up to ideas, inspiration, thoughts. Now, here's the thing. I think the next slide is, yeah. Here's the thing. We're gonna have a chat to your unconscious. Your unconscious mind. Let's roll with a rule tonight. If it's not illegal If it's not illegal, maybe just listen to it for tonight, and we'll roll with that. We might tinker with that rule, but you know, like if you have this idea just pops up into your head, oh, I should. Oh, what's a random thought? I should take out the rubbish next week and make sure I don't. You know, like just write that down. Just build your list, and some of the thoughts that pop into your mind might have nothing to do with an unconscious beliefs that cause patterns and body burnout, like that pop into your mind tonight. But I'm wondering, can you just for tonight just write that stuff down? There's no silly ideas for tonight. Just pop the stuff down on the list, unless it's like, you know what I really should do is like find a way to like steal money out of that ATM. Because there's no security cameras. Like, just leave that one out. All right, cool. I didn't get a drink. All righty, we're gonna put our inner penguin on, and we're gonna dive beneath the surface of the icebergs into the unconscious. Like a cute little penguin. I don't know, Shane. Do they have penguins in South Australia? They have cute ones in Tassie. All right, here we go. I would like you to answer these questions. Write the first thing that pops into your mind down on your paper. First thing. Don't overthink it. And we'll see what comes up. And at the end, we'll pop some stuff into the chat. Okay. All right. First question. I can finish this sentence. I can't be healthy and be a. First thing. I can't be healthy and be a. Good job. All right, next one. Healing is fill in the blanks. I never have enough. A symptom flare up is health isn't I am not something enough to heal. All right, let's go. Chat box. What'd you come up with? What's your list? Oh,
Would it be helpful if I pop those questions in the chat box and then people underneath reply with their one?
oh, that's such a good idea. That's a better idea. Yep, do that. So
You might have to remind me.
first one is I can't be healthy and be a. Are you
Okay.
You're writing?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone reply under Philly's comment. Oh, you're going to write them all in there. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Cool. Oh, wow. This is crazy. I need a huge screen. I need a huge screen. Need. That was a good one. Did anyone catch that one? That was a limiting belief.
What was the last one, Chris?
Oh, sorry. I am not something enough to heal. Let's see. All right. So many cool things. I love it. It's kind of hard for me to follow the chat. But how did you go with that? Like, what was your insights out of that? If you take that all together, what insights do you have? Now, this might, let's just roll the dice and let's just assume that these are unconscious meanings that you've received, downloads, inspiration, that sort of stuff. Let's just roll with that. And after you do this enough, you start to spot the outliers, the things that, oh, that was just actually a weird thought. That doesn't matter. But for now, see if you can notice, see if you can receive some linking, some insights. What do you get out of that? Rihanna, all of mine were dark and very negative. Ugh. Super interesting. And so, and then if you can imagine that was a reflection of what's going on inside, the underneath stuff, what must you believe? I can't be healthy and be a good mum. And you thought, yeah, and you thought, yeah, that's awesome. Dove, most of them seem spot on. For example, or that is, healing is hard, or I'm not good enough to be healthy. Yeah. Okay. And so, and I'll repeat to you, Dove, what I asked before is, what must you believe about yourself in order to believe that healing is hard or that you're not good enough to be healthy? Like, think about it like this. Have you got a blunt friend or a person that maybe just puts their foot in their mouth like all the time and just says the first thing? I've got one of my uncles has schizophrenia and Down syndrome, and he'll just tell you the truth. He will tell you the truth. Whatever he believes to be true, he'll tell you. He'll let you know. So here's my Uncle Andrew. So put your inner Uncle Andrew on. What's the accusation that you say about yourself? If this was something might be dark, or like Fiona, yours indicated lots of hard work is required, probably can't do it, I'm incapable or inferior. Yeah. So see if you can slap on your inner Uncle Andrew, Chris's Uncle Andrew, and be like, I am incapable or inferior, like what Fiona did. And you see how that's kind of, it's like offensive. Imagine if back in like the 1600s, someone came up to you in the court, Fiona, and says, "Milady Fiona, you're incapable, and by gosh, you're inferior. Why are you even here?" You know, you'd be like, "What the stuff? You're a jerk," and so you'd prove and defend yourself. Nicole, I'm thinking like a victim, showing incapable beliefs. Yeah. And then so so you're thinking like a victim. Yeah. So what are you saying to yourself but not saying? Do you know what I mean? Like what's that part of you saying underneath the surface? If you're thinking like a victim, what's that part of you, that unconscious part of you saying? It'd be really mean. It's like it's usually negative. It's like super yucky. Rach, I found that some of my answers show that I do really value health, but then also still not believe that I can't do it. Oh, can. Gotcha. Yeah. Still not believe that I can do it. Got it. Okay. And so then, Rach, so what do you believe to be true? What's that accusation? What's that little nasty thing? There Are there settings I can change so that my chat doesn't keep jumping to the most recent comment? Can't read anything or put answers against the right questions because everything keeps moving. Yes, I think, if anyone knows.
I don't think there is, but I'm sure the chatty box will settle down soon. And for Elle, I just sent you a message and said just pop it in the chat box as a list from top to bottom. Yeah.
Cool. So Bev, I'm not smart enough. Yeah, that's a belief, right? I'm not smart enough. So you go into a situation, you go go somewhere, do something, as in your mind, you could probably think of a situation or a context, and then bang, that's it. That's like the little Jiminy Cricket or the whispering chatter in your mind. It's like, you're not good enough. As you walk in here, you're not smart enough. Everyone thinks you're a dumb idiot. You know that, right? You stupid dumb. Not smart. You're the opposite of a smarty pants. You're like a dummy pants. Like this is what's going on inside you. Chitter chatter. Terry, I think I'm really cross with myself for not being 100% all the time. Oh, that's super mean of myself. Not perfect enough. It's easy. Why you can't? Yeah, it's easy. Why can't you do it? And so it's like shame. You stupid dummy dum dums. Why can't you be perfect? Oh, right. And it's mean. Fern, I'm less than others, therefore, yeah, I'm less than others, therefore not able to be as healthy as others. Yeah, and then you could probably even dig even more, like take your little penguin deeper under the iceberg and be like, okay, so what must you believe, or I think you've already answered this question, but more for everybody else, it's like, what must you believe, or what are you saying to yourself, and where else does this show up, these accusations that you're less than others? Now, no, yeah, like you specifically, Fern, have done a lot of work on this already, but it's clear that there's still some, if you're cleaning a house, you might have rearranged the furniture, you might have taken out the trash, you might have vacuumed the floors, but then you got to dust the cobwebs. Dust the cobwebs? Did we dust the cobwebs? You got to, remove them all. There's like the finishing touches now. Here we go. I can't be healthy and be a woman. Once healing is hard or out of reach. I never have enough space or joy. Yeah, a symptom flare up is an annoyance. Health isn't achievable or happiness. I'm not strong enough to heal. Boom, right? And so then what's the accusation underneath all that? Fern, in the past week, I got to witness my partner being hungover and then getting sick. I watched how he treated himself and was so chill about it. He just rested, let me take over and cook, etc. It was a great learning for me. No one is 100% all the time. All right, Rihanna. I think about limiting beliefs a lot, lots of therapy. I feel like I can rattle a heap of them off and do believe in their impact on my health, but it's all intellectualized. Yeah. Knowing the beliefs isn't this. Yeah. Knowing the beliefs isn't the same as shifting the beliefs. In fact, knowing the beliefs is not shifting them as shifting them has created its own weird loop of distress or frustration in myself. Also a limiting belief. Right. Yeah, that resonates for you too. Hey, Dove. Boom. And so as you go through this work and as you get to your root cause and as you get to your so metaphysical is like meta, it's the first cause of things right in there. As you get right in the origin of it all, and as you can really embody this, as you can really get to the nitty gritty, right into the nucleus, and you can feel it, and you can start flipping the script, which we're going to do right now. You can start to tease open these limiting beliefs and you can start to have more empowering ones. Okay, I'm going to move to the next bit. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so on your list, just to find some more things to pile onto the list. I'm going to flip through some things, and just the first thing that pops into your mind, just write these things down. Remember, we're going to come up with a bunch of stuff that'll be on your list. Yeah, and Kerry, I found myself writing negative stuff, but on thinking about this, I don't believe this anymore. Health is achievable and happiness and changing those beliefs. Yeah, and maybe that's 100% correct. Maybe that's all good. And if you're healed and you're getting better, then I reckon that would be spot on. But if there's like some symptom carryover and some stuff still to clean up or some trash to take out, then it's worth noticing that they're there and we can start to flip stuff around and tinker with the beliefs. Let's go. Pop your fedora on. Write down the first thing that comes to your mind when I flip to these topics. Okay, going down the catacombs and we're shining our light. We're looking for booby traps. We're looking for triggers. What triggers you? What annoys you? I'm not sharing my screen. What? Now, I had that slide up. Does that make more sense why I'm starting talking about Indiana Jones? I wasn't even sharing my screen. That's so funny. Okay, no, so now channel your Indiana Jones, put your fedora hat on, and shine your light. Do you have anything that triggers you? Anything that annoys you? Anything that frustrates you? Write down some of that stuff. Some stuff that'll pop right into your head. You're just like, oh, you know what? XYZ really annoys me. Blah, blah, blah really triggers me. I get a reaction. Probably put in here, when do you get a flare up, a symptom flare up? I wrote that on my notebook, but not on this slide. What are you compulsed to do? Where do you feel compulsions? Or urgencies? You just feel like there's a sense of compulsion or urgency, or you're addicted, or you've got these patterns that just are so overwhelming for you. Shine your light. These things are not serving you. What do you find? Where do you find yourself saying, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I should do this. I have to do that. I must do that. I need to, got to. And is there anything else? This is just a nice way to just add to what Philly and I just shared with you there with the questions. What else could there be? All right. So now what I want you to do is have a look at your list. Have a look at these things and come up with a belief. Come up with a limiting belief that you feel is worth investigating or looking at the most. For example, dun, 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 I don't value myself. Where was Fern's one? Fern. I'm less than others. Therefore, I'm not able to be as healthy as others. People don't like me. There's something wrong with me. Is that the big one, Fern? Like, there's something wrong with me? Is that the, or do you have a different way of saying that? Yeah, cool. Okay. So now, does that, do you feel anything around that still, Fern? Like, is there anything you think you can dust off or tinker with? And I'd like everybody in the chat just to write your limiting belief in the chat. It's heaps better doing your second round of Spark now, and you've got therapy, therapy, terped. You got TRTP booked in. Cool. Terp. Okay, if I don't check check the house before bed, I don't feel safe. Don't feel safe because I don't trust people from the past experiences. Okay. So what's that? Make that about you, Catherine. Can you twink? Can you? That's not the word I'm looking for. Can you wheel that one around so you make it mean something about you? Yeah, Philly, you did it. You said it. Cool. Dove, I'm weird and strange. I'm stupid. I must be productive at all times. I don't deserve wealth. I'm an inconvenience. Fiona, I don't deserve wealth. Is that related to the first thing that you wrote, Fiona? Like, I don't deserve wealth, therefore I must be productive at all times. Ish, I fear failure. Possibly, yeah. Okay. I'm yeah, so this you might be answering this the right way. But yeah, just make sure that you're honing this into and you're covering this point. It's like, what does this mean about me? What am I making this mean about me? Bree, I can't cope. I can't keep up. Why, Bree? Like, what's that belief? What's that accusation about yourself? Why can't you cope? Because there's a whole bunch of people that can. I mean, you line yourself up amongst a bunch of other people that seem to be coping, and you can't. Like, why can't you? What are you saying to yourself underneath? Why can't you keep up, but somebody else can? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is true, by the way. I actually think that's fiction. But what's that belief about yourself? Fiona Harvey, I don't matter, but also from my writing tonight, seeing that I must appear to be good and wise at all times. Go, I'm incapable. Mish, I might fail, but what does it matter if I do? Maybe I will learn a better way from my next attempt. Yeah, you're like, you got 1 foot in limiting belief land and 1 foot in empowering woman world, don't you? Cool. Okay. Let's try this. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. These are this is blurry for some reason, but Byron Katie, she's got some great books. The work, I'm pretty sure it's called. It's worth a read. Google Byron Katie, guys, and read her book. I've read it on Kindle. I love it. It's awesome. It's worth buying a physical one, I reckon. So anyway, these are kind of based on, I've tinkered with them a little bit, but used the main ones that she's got. She's got these 4 questions and a turnaround. Some of you might, anyone in the chat, let me know if you've heard of or you've read any Byron Katie stuff. Okay, the first thing is take your limiting belief and have a look at it. And just see on a scale of don't even scale it. It's just notice how powerful that is and how strong or impactful that belief is to you. Just notice that. Actually, yeah, do rate it. Like, how impactful. 10 out of 10 is like, this is really impacting me. I notice it. I know it. I'm aware of it. It's no longer an unconscious belief. It's a conscious, unconscious belief, 10 out of 10. 1 is like, it's kind of not really making an impact on my life. How much of an impact or how strong is this belief? How are you feeling? 10, Terry. Yeah, and makes you teary. So that's what we're looking for, is when you can find that one where you read it and it just feel that the tears, your breath, your heart. When you get closer to that, you're onto a real meaningful one. Okay. And now write down the answer to this question. Don't overthink it. Just let this come up for you. Is it true? Is that belief true? Look at your belief and ask yourself, is it absolutely true? Write down. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Not true, Kerry. No, Bree. Rach, it just hit me tonight. I've always felt drawn to not good enough, but no matter how much work I did on it, it never shifted. But now saying I'm incapable, it was like a punch to the stomach. And it's not true. Dove. Yes, partly. Okay. This next one's for you, Dove. And everybody. Not true, not true. The weird thing is that I know it's not true. Got it. Okay, here we go. Well, this is for the people who said it's not true and the people who say that maybe partly it is. Check this out. Can you absolutely know that it's true? Or can you absolutely know that it's not true? All you need is a wedge. You know, you get that wedge in a tree. Oh, I don't really actually know what I'm talking about here, but you put a wedge in a tree when you're like chopping it down and you hit it in there. And that little wedge, it's not as big as a tree, but it can like split the tree apart and it can like fall the tree. I'm not a real Tasmanian. I don't know much about wood chopping. Okay. Yeah, there's no absolutes. Can you absolutely know that it's true? So I can't know that can't know fully that it's true. Is there any possibility that this belief might not be as solid as it seems? And that's probably going to take some soul searching. Yeah, it's possible. Boom. I love it. There's your wedge, Dove. You just gave yourself a wedgie. You just wedged yourself in there. And so now it's all going to come falling down. Get a wedgie. That's awesome. How do you react when you believe that thought? So how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? When you believe that initial thought, yeah, it might not be true. And yeah, absolutely, you can't 100% unequivocally believe it's true. But like when you do believe that thought, what happens? What's the chain of events? What's the reaction? You know, smoke alarm. I smell smoke. Meep, meep. So for you, what's the chain of events? What happens? What are the emotions, the behaviors, the physical sensations that arise when you hold on to that belief? Write down everything that comes to your mind. Everything. Fiona, I just want to read your one again in regards to it must be productive at all times. I don't deserve wealth. Why do I have to be the best at it? Can't I just be me, as good as I am? Sure, someone else could probably do it well and better, but I'm more than capable and definitely not inferior. Yeah. Does that feel nicer when you flip it like that, Fiona?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's quite easy to get there when you sit and think about it. But yeah, the patterns of talking to yourself the negative way override sometimes, don't they?
Yeah. And what if we just thought of it like a muscle? If you and I took up, I don't know, Fiona, do you know anyone that plays guitar? How that, you just pick that up straight away instantly? It takes time, right? It takes time. Then if you're like me and you've been practicing every day, multiple hours a day for 6, 7 months or whatever it is, I'm getting okay. But now I realize, jeepers creepers, I now know that I don't know something, like, you know, like I'm aware of problems now that I wasn't aware that I had back when I first started. And so now you get this chance to improve and to grow and to practice, to notice these things as they pop up. And it's just like a muscle. You get stronger, you get better. When they pop up, you notice they pop up. And now it's not, I don't notice that these things are there. You've gone from unconscious incompetence to conscious competence. And now you've even gone beyond that to you've gone from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to conscious competence. But then every now and then, like, you might slip up. And so you have to think about it. You got to be aware of it. And you got to work on it. And one day it's just going to hit a point where it's just like, you don't even think about it anymore. You're unconsciously competent. Okay. There's the fourth question. Who would you be without that thought, guys? Imagine your life and your sense of self without this limiting belief. What would change? How would you feel and act differently? Imagine your life and your sense of self without that limiting belief. What would change and how would you feel and act differently? Sharon, more joy, more present, more creative. Sounds nice. And then you can blow it out even more, like with some journaling. It's like, okay, yeah, more joy, more present, more creative. And then, like, what kind of conversations will you have? And then as you notice that pops up, and as you notice these, like what Fiona just said before, you know, you work on it. You work on your limiting beliefs. When you notice these things pop up, what can you say to yourself? How can you remind yourself? It's like, no, yeah, you know what? That's a bunch of baloney. I don't believe that. So how quickly can you get back? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Jay, I would dive head into things to give things a go. I would not hold myself back. You too, Terry. That sounds beautiful, guys. You'd have a fuller life, Dove. It'd make living in Bali a whole lot different, wouldn't it? More friends, less lonely, more play and experimentation, loose shoulders and jaw, easier breathing, more laughing, more fun. Freedom. I love it. Okay. And we'll leave it there. Okay, guys. So when we have these beliefs, it's like, I went to, speaking of Bali, when I was in Bali, I noticed that this happens a lot where people siphon power out of the power lines without paying for it. I think that's what our limiting beliefs do. We give power away. So when we can identify limiting beliefs, we bring the unconscious to the surface. And then when we can flip them around, when we can regulate our nervous system, when we can have a nervous system that's regulated, we're taking our power back. We cut the cords. What you know, you can now change. I love it, Phil. And then therefore, when you cut those cords, when you stop giving your power away, you can have the capacity to heal. There's no brownouts. We had brownouts when I was over there. Dove, has that happened to you yet over in Bali? No worries, Fiona. But when you stop giving your power away, when it's not siphoned off, you have the capacity to run at full strength. You can heal. And we won't go into all that. That'll be for topic for another one. So what do you do now? Jump into a lot of this stuff is rehashed in the limiting beliefs lesson in past state. So progress through the lessons, continue to learn the stuff and watch the things, plug your thoughts into outlets. There's a good one for limiting beliefs. But questions? Anyone got any questions? Love to do a bit of Q&A. Philly and I can stick around until past, so we got about 12 minutes. We can answer questions. Punch them into the chat if you got questions, or feel free to come off mute. Grab a drink. No worries, Sharon. Thanks for coming. It should be up. Unless it usually opens up 2 weeks in. So it should have opened up on Monday. Yeah. Oh, got it. Yeah, yes. So hey, if if anybody hasn't got access to past state, can you please shoot us an email to chris@chrisandphilly.fm. Philly, can you pop my email in the chat? And I'll sort you out. I'll make sure you're good to go. No worries, Andrea. No worries, Joe. Oh, hello. Yeah, gotcha. Beautiful. Thanks to you, Carly, for coming along and for the terrific facilitation. Why, thank you. Catherine, I feel like I have so many limiting beliefs and I'm finding it hard to find the right one that is really making, like you said, cry. Yep. Cool. Have you played darts before? You don't have to answer that, but you can like close your eyes if you're like me, and you actually have your eyes open. You might miss. Oh, what a limiting belief! What a bunch of, can I absolutely know that that's true? No. You might miss the dartboard. So who cares? Let's just play darts. Fling your dart. Whatever limiting belief you hit, work on that one. And it's kind of like a knot, and you just start untangling it bit by bit, piece by piece. As you get through the work that we're doing with you, things will start to loosen up as well. Now, I also want to talk about trauma.
Were you moving on from that question? Because I have a couple of things to say about that. Or is the trauma connected?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll hold my comments then.
Were you going to add to that?
Yeah, I was.
About trauma?
No. About what Catherine asked or said.
Yeah. So trauma, sometimes when you've had significant emotional events or when there's been trauma in the past, it can be very hard to untangle these things without help. And so Philly and I love TRTP, and we've got some other resources that we use to help you to tease out, to untangle limiting beliefs that are there, but you might not be connecting them up. So do the work, don't rule out trauma, and then whatever Philly's about to say as well. Go, Phil.
Yeah, so when you start working through past state, it's all building down too, because you're digging down to the deepest root cause. There's a lesson called the deepest root cause, which is the second last lesson in past state. There is a very clear and thorough process to get to that point. And sometimes, like when I've had a one-on-one with someone and they're like, oh, I don't know if I've got it, you know, so it'll be the coaching session. And what I've found is often people already know the thing that is going to hit them hard, but you kind of stay up in your conscious mind about it, around it. So you don't really feel it and you don't really know it. You're not accepting to know it because you're not ready to receive it yet. So your unconscious mind is so clever. Really, it's like just trying to keep you safe all the time. So it's like, yeah, this feels safe. Just kind of like allowing this to surface, which is great. Like that's actually a sign that there's progress and you're healing and you're ready and willing to know and be open to it. But it can take some time of holding yourself in that space for you to really know. And when we were talking about limiting beliefs today, so there are heaps of different limiting beliefs and stories. I mean, even now, I still have ones that pop up or new things that it's like, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's a limiting belief. Where we're getting you to go in past state is to the deepest root cause belief that is basically like the deepest root that's driving all other ones. Because when you can change the deepest root, everything changes. So you'll have something really, it reduces the overwhelm, because when you find that, it's like mission number one is reprogram that one belief, not all the hundreds of other ones that I am constantly dealing with in my life. Hope that, yeah, helps clarify.
Boom. And sometimes you need an Uncle Andrew in your team to just point out the obvious, that doesn't care if you hear the truth or not. Not from a mean way. When he says what he says, he's not trying to be offensive. He's just honest. And I think when you can be really honest with yourself, when you can be in a place and time that you feel safe to be honest, when you can give yourself permission to really show up and be honest with yourself, find that offensive thing that you're saying to yourself. Just really hear what you're saying. Yeah, and it's like Rach said, I found that when I lean into each of the limiting beliefs that I would try and dig deeper into each one of them and question myself with the famous line of, but what does that mean about me? I just kept going until it hit in the feels. Yeah, one of mine just hit me one day when I was doing the dishes. We've got this place, speaking of penguins, that I walk to regularly. It's called Penguin Point, where all the little fairy penguins come in and you can sit down and watch them at night. It's super cute. Anyway, I went there the other day and I just did a walk up there. And I went there today again. And it's just like I sat down for, I reckon it was literally 10 seconds. And I was just like, oh, what did I even think? I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, oh, I've lost everyone. Have I lost everyone? Where is everyone?
We're here.
Oh, that was weird. My whole screen just went blank. Anyway, got some inspiration. It hit me on the head and I had inspiration just because I found my place. It was beautiful. It was awesome. The end. I can't see anybody. Everyone's just disappeared. As soon as I hit my head, everyone went away. All right, guys. Any other questions? You're all poking faces at me. Yeah. I'm unlovable. Everybody hates me. Cool. I love it. So good, guys. I want to know where everyone is.
Everyone come off mute and say bye, Chris.
Yeah. The funny
Thanks
thing
for
is,
coming, everyone.
I can't see
Bye,
Zoom, so I can't hang up. I can't. Where this is going to be the longest recording ever. It's just going to be me going. I'm just going to go outside and I'm going to turn the whole power off to the because I can't do. What a limiting belief. All right, guys. You have to. Yeah. No, you hang up. Oh, this is amazing. So good. There I am. I'm here. This is funny as. Linda, Jay, you guys are here still laughing at me probably. I don't know how to do this. All right. See you, Jay. What the? Yeah. Oh, they were right there. What's going on? Hey, dog. Yeah. Oh, let go. Oh, can you take Mindy out, please?